Well, I decided to make another video today, and the intention was to come and have a late breakfast, but it started to persist down, and it's taken me a long while to get a fire going. Everything's wet, I'm wet, the ground's muddy, I'm just filthy, but that's what it's like in the outdoors. So my late breakfast is turning out to be probably a late lunch, but that's the way it is. I think today, if we can keep this blooming fire going, we'll have a little bit of breakfast. The shelter's a bit Heath Robinson, but needs must when it's chucking it down. So let's get a little bit of breakfast done. I could definitely do with a cup of coffee, that's for sure. And we shall do that. I've had this tin for 40 odd years. It used to be a smoke grenade tin, and I purloined it when I was serving in the army. Put a bail handle on it, which I made out of a coat hanger, and just did a wrap round it so that I could take the heat off. I don't use it now for anything but storage, but it used to be my go-to for making my brews and stuff when I was out in the field. It served its purpose. Anyway, let's get some food chopped up. As we say in this neck of the woods, a few mushrooms. We'll get them on. And we shall see what we shall see. So I started this channel with the intention of doing it for people in my age group. I just turned 65 a couple of months ago. I've been involved in this sort of stuff for a long time. I did a combat survival instructor's course in '85 when I was in the army. I've been in the army by that time 10 years. The combat survival instructor's course, as I say, at Hereford, and was happy enough and pleasant enough to have the great Lofty Wiseman as the instructor on that course. It was more than just a combat survival thing. It was about resistance to interrogation and stuff like that. But once I'd done that course, I realised how much I loved it. And I've been doing this sort of thing, which we now call bushcraft, for years, for absolute years. And the same as everybody else, when I first started doing it, I was really hooked up on gear. In fact, I spent more time saving and hunting out for gear than I actually did going outdoors. But I've got past that stage now. I have literally, I must say, I have got tons of gear, but it all gets used, and if it doesn't get used, lately it gets sold on, because I can't afford to just have stuff laying around rotting. So that's what we do. And as I say, probably some of the oldest stuff I've got is I've got an old US military firelighter, which is now almost worn down to a nub, and the smoke grenade tin. And I've literally had this smoke grenade tin since the late 70s at the very least. So it stays with me. And as I say, just now it's used as storage as opposed to anything else. It's a good bit of kit. It's nostalgia. But even nostalgia is not what it used to be. So let's get this breakfast on the go. And I'll join you again in a minute. That'll do. Well, that's come out nice. I do apologise for you watching me eat, but I'm not turning the camera off. Oh, I've waited for this. Sausage, egg and mushrooms. So the chipolatas from our local butcher, and they're superb. And the eggs are from my own chickens. Although today's been a little bit of a disaster with the weather. I mean, look at the state of me. I'm just covered in mud. The ground's all ploughed up. It took me ages to get the fire going because all my wood was wet. But to me, this bushcraft, being outdoors, is what it's about. It's not about the gear so much. Well, it isn't about the gear for me. It's just about being outdoors, being able to see nature, hear nature, and get away from the day-to-day stuff. And it's so good for your head. Really is good for your head. Come here, Sig. Sigrun. Get that. Get that bowl, darling. Get it. Yeah. pre-wash. Jess, come here. Chester, save some for Chester. Come here. Come on, babe. Get this one. Good boy. Well, coffee, and then I think that's it for me. I know it's probably a ropey video. It's only my second video. I hope to get better, but it's not about making the videos really. It's about sharing the outdoors. I'm lucky that where I am is my own place. The lake that you see in the opening is mine. It's all my property, so I can spend overnights here without having to worry about being caught. And if I want to go and have a day in the woods, I can have a whole day in the woods without having to stay overnight. I can come back here and pitch a tent or a tarp or anything anywhere and just get on with it. I know I'm lucky in that respect, but it does help me not having to be hung up about being caught in the woods or somebody stumbling across you and reporting you. So, cheers.